Hey everyone, this is Leo Knight, and I just want to take a second to tell you about the EOK Podcast. Some of you probably already know, but many of you might not. EOK records a podcast each week. Each Wednesday morning at our general membership meeting, during the interview process or whatever we have going on for the live meeting, we record the audio in the form of a podcast. That podcast is available on, as you can see here, iTunes. If you go to the iTunes store and you search for EOK, you will find this under Podcasts, Audio Podcasts, Management and Marketing, EOK Podcasts. Right now we're up to episode 25, and we have a couple of reviews which have been very positive. People do seem to like the EOK Podcast. I wanted to tell you where you could find it. You can also find it online at eok.libsyn.com, libsyn.com. And I was going to show you really very quickly a little bit of the workflow required to create our podcasts. First, we capture the podcast using a portable recording device, the Zoom recorder. And after we get that file on the hard drive, off the Zoom, we use a transfer device to move that WAV file, which is actually a couple of WAV files that are pretty large, over to the hard drive. Then we use Audacity to actually import those audio files because they're very large and we need to combine them into one track. To start off with, they're in multiple tracks because the recorder records both a front and rear left-right audio file. So let's just go ahead and we'll work with episode 29. Let's get both of these in to Audacity. We'll just open them into a blank file. Okay, now that we have the files imported into Audacity as two very large WAV files here, we have the front side of the recorder, channel left, right channel. We have the rear side, left and right. The next thing that we do is we split those stereo tracks into two different tracks, and then we change them each to mono, all four of them to mono. We're just trying to reduce the size of the files. Now I'm going to shift click all of these, and I'm going to do a quick mix of these all of these files. Sorry about that. So we've got all four selected, and we're going to do a quick mix of all four of these channels down to one channel. So it's mixing all the tracks down to one. Okay, now that we've mixed this down to one track, and it's a mono track, so we've really reduced the size by combining the four tracks into one, we need to trim the front end and the back side to see to start the podcast where we want to. So let's listen to it and see where we need to trim this file.
I'll go ahead and get us started. Hello and welcome to the EOK Podcast. This is episode 29. Today we're talking about...
So we want to, I'm just going to zoom in here quickly, and we'll get rid of this beginning part here where I was talking about leading in. And we'll delete that, and I'm just going to hit the delete key to cut that out. Now it should start right at the beginning.
Hello and welcome to the EOK Podcast.
So that's what we want to see happen. Then I'm going to expand this back out to the full size, and we'll trim the back end. Okay, next we want to trim the back side of the podcast off to get rid of any dead air or noise. So let's listen to the back end and then get rid of the pieces that we don't want.
You can also see links for this episode at delicious.com/EOK/episode 29. Thanks.
So really we just want to get rid of that little bit that's right there. Okay, very quickly, the next thing that we do is we select the whole track and we do an effect, which is a normalize. So we normalize this entire track, just centering it back on 0 and reducing the amplitude to -3 dB, and that will just run through and compress that file a little more to get those peaks knocked down. Okay, after the normalization finishes, what we do next is we do compression as an effect. Run the compressor, and we just try to get a nice threshold so that we can get this file knocked down